Former Arkansas Governor Asa Hutchinson, a Republican who believes his party shouldn't be looking in the rearview mirror, is taking a little bit of a look back this week as he officially launches his campaign for the White House on Wednesday from his hometown. In an interview with ABC News on Tuesday, Hutchinson stated that having it in Bentonville was really exciting. In the first place, it reflects me. 37 years ago, Hutchinson announced his first run for statewide office from the same county courthouse where he had tried his first cases as a lawyer. He installed the first FM radio station in the community there in the 1970s, and he raised his 4 children there. He is now 72 years old. Hutchinson has incorporated snippets of his heritage into the program to mark the beginning of the campaign. Hutchinson's alma mater, Springdale High School, will provide the music, and cheerleaders from Gravette, a small town where he attended grade school, will add extra energy. Susan, his wife of 50 years, will likely introduce him. Hutchinson said, "It reflects the rural roots that are a part of me." Bentonville's story also tells the story of America from the perspective of entrepreneurs who didn't depend on the government, says the author. Hutchinson recalled a time when America was just simply America, and now you see the growth, but you still have the same small-town values that were there then, mentioning Sam Walton, Don Tyson, and J.B. Hunt. Don't expect to hear the name Trump in Hutchinson's speech, despite the fact that he has positioned himself as a Republican opponent to former President Donald Trump, and even called for Trump to withdraw from the race after his indictment. According to a familiar source, rather than leaders on both sides looking in the rearview mirror, expect to focus on looking forward. In response to President Joe Biden's video announcing his re-election campaign, Hutchinson stated on Tuesday, "It was a very backward look that Joe Biden gave in his announcement. I was disappointed there wasn't more of a forward-looking," the speaker said. "It was more about the past in 2020. We don't require a repetition of 2020. We don't require another Biden-Trump debate. In 2020, it didn't appear attractive. In 2024, it will appear even worse. We have watched that film. We don't need to see it once more," he continued. President Biden would love a repeat of that, which is why he is really focusing on Trump. The White House Correspondents' Dinner will take place in Washington this weekend, and then Hutchinson will travel back to Iowa for a number of small-scale campaign events. Hutchinson formally launched his 2024 campaign on Wednesday with supporters in his home state, after making it official earlier this month. In an exclusive sit-down interview with ABC This Week, co-anchor Jonathan Karl. After serving for 8 years, the term-limited governor was replaced by Sarah Huckabee Sanders, a former press secretary for Donald Trump. Until Hutchinson, all 3 of his Republican predecessors had Democrats succeed them in the White House. This executive experience served as the capstone to decades of public service, which included 3 terms in the U.S. House of Representatives back-to-back, serving as the nation's first Undersecretary of Homeland Security for Border Protection during the George W. Bush administration, and heading up the Drug Enforcement Administration. But before being selected by President Ronald Reagan to serve as U.S. Attorney for the Western District of Arkansas in 1982, he started his career in public service as a city attorney in Bentonville. At the time, he was the youngest U.S. attorney in the country and made headlines for his prosecution of the Covenant, the Sword, and the Arm of the Lord, a white nationalist militia. Hutchinson acknowledged in his interview with Karl that he would need to put in a lot of hard work and good messaging in order to increase his national profile and stand out in a crowded field. He is currently trailing some of his other declared rivals in the race, including Trump, former South Carolina Governor and UN Ambassador Nikki Haley, and businessman Vivek Ramaswamy. Some believe he is running like Florida Governor Ron DeSantis. Hutchinson, however, is unconcerned by the prospect of a difficult primary season. He senses a calling to help. "I think the Republican base will see that our best chance of moving forward with conservative principles is through new ideas and new leadership," the politician predicted. "Our democracy is wonderful because it allows for both retail politics and policymaking, which is what garners support from voters."